All right, then. I think... Okay. Good. We are live. It's hot. We went to the park. It was a good day in the park. We literally ran out of peanuts. But the blue jays came to play. The woodpeckers came to play. The squirrels came to play. It was a good day in the park. And I don't think you'll get to see Dante today because he is currently melting off of a pillow in the living room. Like, he's so big that he's melting off of it. It's really kind of funny. He's big. So, very, I had a Maine Coon. And Dante's just... Because Hayes was fluffy. Big, but fluffy. Dante is big and solid. So, alright. We are here to do a new design for living. Let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. It's one email a week. Tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot. So click here now means it. It is also a blind CC, so nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. And last but certainly not least, let's mention the social media. Because this is what I'm doing it on, right? We do not monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So we ask you instead, go like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you are on. Because we are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Not that we've been active on TikTok lately, and the Instagram's kind of hit or miss. So, but, like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you're on. And then engage with the individual post by reacting to the post, commenting on the post, sharing the post. Again, based on which platform you're on. It bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff, and let's be honest, that's the point of social media. So, it is a free and easy way that you can support the center and have more people see our stuff. So, and we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. And I'm the running Rev Ryan across all the social medias that I am on. So, all right. Now, A New Design for Living was one of the last books that Ernest himself worked on. There have been books that have been put out since, but this is one of the last ones he worked on. He sat down with Willis Kinnear and pulled the material together for the process of science of mind. This is how you do science of mind. In here, he does call us a religion, a philosophy, and a science. I'm going to lean more towards a philosophy, and definitely a science, than a religion. Because in here, he's telling you how to do it. It's like, okay, this is what we're talking about. This is how to do it. And this is why it's important. And that's one of the things that I love the most is like, he's not just saying why, he's not just saying what to do. He's telling you why it's important, and why we do it the way we do it. He's giving you all of that information, and it's really good. And, I like to call it a process because Jesse's leaned into that. So the person you are at the beginning of the book is not going to be the same person you are at the end of the book. You are going to change by virtue of doing what is in the book. So I think it's just been, I really, really enjoyed this. This Thing Called You is absolutely my favorite Ernest Holmes book, but I think this one cracked the top 5. It may take the place of This Thing Called You, but maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to go back and reread This Thing Called You. So, which I did read and is on our YouTube channel. So it's on both the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel and the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel. So if you want to hear This Thing Called You, I've done that too. Just go to the playlist tab and look for it. I'll also do an Emerson essay this afternoon, but here we are. Okay, so we are currently in chapter 20, using what you know. And today we are going to learn to be definite. In this respect, a spiritual mind treatment must be definite and concise. We must think clearly. Clear thinking may mean a logical and specific development of an idea to a conclusion, or it could mean any process of thought that is unruffled or undisturbed by ideas extraneous to it. How clearly do we really think? Okay, and I like that he defines his terms. we must think clearly. So either we can do it, a logical progression of thought, or we can have the unruffled, undisturbed thoughts. That is one of the, and I don't want to call it a trick, but that's one of the things about doing prayer work, doing treatment work, is to not let the outside in, okay? Because you are going to a place where nothing has ever been wrong. That's what the energy you want to stay in. You don't want to let all of the nonsense going on in the world around you into that space. You want to get the energy from that space and bring it out into the world. That's also one of the reasons why regular practice is very important. Because if you want to be able to do this unruffled and undisturbed, the more practice you have, the less the nonsense and the noise of the world is going to bother you. It means that in those, and I'm going to use the word crisis moments, you can do this kind of work because you've practiced. So, all right. There's another paragraph. So let's see. In the process of giving a spiritual mind treatment for Mary Jones, we perhaps may have the following experience. There is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. And that life is Mary Jones' life now. Mary certainly needs it. She didn't look so well the other day, especially in the dress she had on. What is he doing here? Wonder where she got it. One would think her husband would tell her about it. But even he doesn't have such good taste. Those awful ties he wears. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Mary Jones is a perfect idea in the mind of God, ad infinitum. Okay, I think that what he's doing here is an example of what not to do. Because when I'm like, wait, what is he doing? I don't. Okay, hang on. We all encounter this in our thinking. But what are we declaring? What direction are we giving our words and the action of the law? It would be most difficult to say, except that Mary Jones' husband would probably buy even worse ties than he now buys. How confused can we get? Okay, you know what? I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go ahead and do the next article, which is what are you definite about? So, because if you go back to the textbook, in the back of the textbook, he has really good examples of treatments. He's got beautiful meditations, beautiful treatments in the back. That was an example of what not to do. Okay. None of that made any sense. I like that he put in there, now where was I? I mean, I've had moments like that where I've done treatments like that. And when I find myself doing that, what I will do is I will stop, clear my mind, and start over again. If I catch my mind wandering into treatment, I will scrap it and start over. I'm not going to let myself continue to wander around discussing, their taste in dresses and ties. It has nothing to do with what I'm treating about. All right, let's go ahead and do what are you definite about? On the other hand, how clearly do we think when we have an ache or a pain? Often there is nothing we can think of, no outside idea seems able to enter our minds. Our thought is intent only on how miserable we are, how bad the pain is, how sick we are. And that is the reason for regular spiritual practice, because that can help us get through that. It can help us ignore the pain for the duration of the treatment. Now let's see what he's got to say. Here, there is no wavering, no inconsistent in the direction we are giving the law. We are specific, definite, and concise. These things we know, and know without a shadow of a doubt. This same condition of definiteness seems to apply to many other aspects of our living. If we are poor, poverty is the only thing we can think of. If we are a failure, failure is all we know. What dramatic demonstrations of the way the law works. What accurate responses we get from our declarations, which is one of those things to be careful about what we dwell on. Okay? Which is why I have learned to ignore the pain when I'm working on things like that. It's like, you know what? No, I don't want that. So I'm not going to dwell on that, especially not when I'm speaking my word directly into the law, because it just means I'm going to get more of it. All right. The detail with which our lives conform to the mental designs we have is amazing. The law works, but all of this is in reverse. We need to teach ourselves to think just as consistently, just as emphatically about the things we do want. And that's the secret there. We spend all this time worrying about what we don't want. We forget that where our attention goes is where our power goes. So we want to think just as concisely, just as emphatically, with all of that same conviction about what we do want. We must declare for ourselves, in no uncertain terms, the good things of life we desire. And in between the times we set aside for this purpose, there must be no backsliding. No letting down the barriers we have raised against negative ideas. A yes one moment and a no the next will hold us in the very position we want to get rid of. So, it's not that you have to white knuckle things. It's just when you go and you do the prayer work and you have stated, this is what I want. If you find yourself thinking about what you don't want, you need to redirect yourself. Okay? And that is the kindest way. That is the kindest way. You don't punish yourself. You don't think, oh, well, everything is, it's the same thing when you're changing your diet. It's like if you have a cookie and then you beat yourself up, and then because you beat yourself up, you have another cookie. That's not going to get you what you want. Same thing here. So if you have treated, this is what I want, and then you find yourself thinking about what you don't want, then you redirect yourself. Okay, you either go think about something else, or you go back to thinking about what it is that you want. Okay? You simply redirect your energy, you redirect your power, and you don't beat yourself up. We are human. Okay? We are spiritual beings having a human experiences. We are going to think about the things we don't want. What we don't want to do is continue to think about them and continue to feed them power. So redirect yourself. Go do something else. Go read a good book. Go drink a glass of water. Go for a walk. Call a friend. Do something to distract yourself away from what you don't want, especially right after you've been through prayer time. Okay? It is important to be definite about what you want. It is important not to beat yourself up when you find yourself thinking about what you don't want. It is very important to redirect your energies in whatever way you need to. That's why I say drink a glass of water, go for a walk, read a good book, call a good friend, listen to good music. Do something to distract yourself. Or work on something that directs your energy towards what you want. Whatever that looks like. If you are an artist, draw, paint, write, write yourself a story. Do something to redirect your energy when you find yourself dwelling on what you don't want. Okay? All right. That is. So we have 2 pretty short little articles left. Clear thinking and convince yourself. So I may go ahead and do both of those tomorrow. And we'll just finish up the chapter and then start facing facts. Because that's chapter 21 next. But right now, I'm going to wrap this up and encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, fantastic day, magical day, an enchanted day, wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a catter day. Because that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to cuddle my cats, if they'll let me. Because, cats. Do something just for yourself day, take a nap day, wrap something up day, start a new project day. Have a conversation with somebody that you haven't talked to in a minute day. Do what you got to do day. Go for a walk in the park day. This is going to be really important because it's going to be hot for the next couple of days. Drink plenty of water day. Hydrate day. Eat something really amazing day. Take care of yourself day. Do something for somebody else day. Whatever kind of day it is that you want to have day. think clearly day, a think definitely day, a redirect yourself day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, I get it, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. Okay? Comparison is the thief of joy. Remember that. And, as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godly. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. It is all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds, as I said, I'm going to go have a counter day, so I'm going to get started on that right now. Actually, I'm going to go get something to eat because I'm hungry. So, Reverend David should be on sometime this afternoon. I should get to go to the gym tomorrow, so I'll see you about 8:45 tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. Always. And I will see you next time. Which means this afternoon around 3:30, where I'm going to do the last Emerson essay, Self-Reliance. So, all right, beloved, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. I'll see you next time. If I